What's up, everybody? On today's episode, we're going to watch failed 90s inventions. This is a part two. I've yet to see part one or part two, so we're just going to start in big with part number two.
I'm doing the 14-day filmmaker course.
Sorry about the damn commercials. I am broke.
Do you know which one
MFR.
ingredient makes marriage to look so great? It's not just one.
Oh god, it smells like alcohol.
Now I'm going to obviously do the tires black, but you can
If
do
you guys want to donate to the cause,
The
it's
1990s
Cash
was a
App
decade bursting
Lukewarm
with
Mess,
creativity, bold
Thomas.
ideas, and a kind of
Cash App,
techno-optimism that had inventors and
Lukewarm Mess,
companies racing to
Thomas.
revolutionize the way we lived. Everyone
Holla.
was looking for the next big thing, but not all big ideas turn into success stories. In today's video, we're diving deep into the vault of nostalgic misfires to bring you 25 innovative products from the 1990s that failed miserably. Let's kick things off with one of the most famously weird ideas of the decade.
I actually like Crystal
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Pepsi decided that what people really wanted was a clear soda that looked like water but tasted like cola.
I'm really concerned that selling this new Crystal Pepsi could hurt the sales of my other soft drink brands, like brand Pepsi.
It was supposed to feel clean, modern, and health conscious. The commercials were intense. Van Halen's Right Now blasting while slow-mo shots of people doing epic stuff played across the screen. Pepsi marketed it like it was the drink of the future. But here's the
I
problem.
actually liked it.
It confused people. It didn't taste exactly like regular Pepsi, and the see-through look made some folks think it was flavorless.
I'll put Crystal Pepsi into the section, but I have no more display space for another soft drink.
Plus, people weren't really asking for a clear soda in the first place. It quietly disappeared within 2 years. Interestingly, it made a short-lived comeback in 2016 for nostalgia's sake, but even then, it didn't last.
You can put your Crystal Pepsi display in place of the Pepsi display.
Long before the iPhone, Apple tried to change the world with a clunky little gadget called the Newton. This personal digital assistant, PDA, was meant to replace your calendar, notepad, and maybe even your computer.
It's going to change our lives as much as the fax machine or the cellular telephone have in the last 10 years.
It could take notes, store contacts, and even recognize your handwriting. At least, that was the promise. In reality, its handwriting recognition was hilariously inaccurate. It was bulky, expensive, nearly $700 at the time, and just not ready for prime time.
So within weeks of launching Newton, Apple put together the first Newton Developers Conference.
Even The Simpsons mocked it. Apple pulled the plug on it by 1998, but funnily enough, it laid the groundwork for what would later become the iPhone and iPad. So, not a total loss, just an awkward early step.
The consumer electronics business needs a hot product.
These shoes were everywhere for a hot minute. Reebok promised that by pumping air into the tongue of your sneaker, you'd get better performance.
That was one of my favorite basketball players of all time.
More
Dennis
game.
Rodman.
When I'm pumped up, I get support, protection, and a custom fit that's unbeatable.
NBA players were
He
seen
would have shut
rocking
down
them,
LeBron
and
James.
kids begged their
LeBron
parents
James
for a
wouldn't
pair. But here's
be
the
a
catch.
good
They didn't
offensive
really work
player
that well. The
if
pump was mostly
Dennis
a
Rodman
gimmick.
was defending him, hands
No
down.
one can imitate the pump.
Once the novelty wore off, people realized they were paying a lot more money for very little actual benefit. Plus, the pump mechanism often broke. While it wasn't a complete flop in terms of sales, it definitely didn't live up to the hype or last as a performance innovation.
The original, the pump. From Reebok.
I
This
actually
one's a
had the
classic failure that still
Shaquille
haunts
pumps.
Nintendo fans. The Virtual Boy was Nintendo's attempt at virtual reality before VR was even a thing. You looked into a red-tinted headset and played games in a strange 3D format.
Virtual Boy, see it now in 3D.
I don't
But
remember
the
that.
graphics were clunky. The red and black color scheme gave people headaches, and the system was uncomfortable to use. It was also insanely expensive for its time and only had a handful of games. Nintendo discontinued it after just 6 months. It's often ranked as one of the biggest flops in gaming history. But hey, at least they were thinking ahead.
That's pretty brutal.
It's such a big flop. I don't remember what it.
Okay.
Even
Yes,
when it came
you read
out,
that right.
anything about
Coors,
it.
the beer company, decided to make non-alcoholic sparkling water in the early 90s. The idea was to diversify their product line and hop on the health-conscious train. But there was one big issue.
We toured
People
the
associated
Coors plant
Coors with beer,
in
not water.
late 80s.
Probably longer than physically.
It's actually a beautiful plant in a beautiful area.
And putting the Coors logo on
Never
a bottle
got
of
a chance
sparkling
to.
water
You
just
should
confused
go.
everyone. Consumers didn't
We were
trust
excited
it,
when we
didn't
came
want
here and
it,
Budweiser had a
didn't buy
plant,
it.
but we couldn't
It flopped
really
so
tour it
hard
like
that it was
we
pulled from
did.
the shelves quickly.
Is it true that
Coors.
not drinking water while consuming beer can adversely affect your functioning?
The lesson: brand identity matters a lot. Just because you can make sparkling water doesn't mean you should.
Coach, do you drink refreshing Rocky Mountain spring water?
Now, this one was straight out of a sci-fi movie.
I bet you
Orbitz
nowadays
was a
everybody
weird,
be drinking that
futuristic-looking drink with
spring
tiny
water.
floating gelatin balls suspended inside the bottle.
You can see me.
Yes, I can see you. You're perfectly in frame.
I slightly remember
Smells
this.
like alcohol.
So,
The idea was to create a textured beverage experience that would amaze customers. It looked cool, like a lava lamp you could drink, but the novelty wore off fast. Most people said it had a strange taste and an even stranger mouthfeel. It was supposed to feel like drinking a drink and chewing gum at the same time, but that just didn't sit well with consumers.
Drinking
the
a
gelatin
drink
balls
and
freaked
chewing
people out,
gum
and the lack of any
at
clear
the
flavor
same
direction
time.
didn't help.
All right, I'm just going to show you the ones that I've bought.
Might
so
as
far.
well
The one on the right.
melt
is
down
called
some Laffy
Raspberry
Taffy and
Citrus.
drink that
Orbitz
shit.
never took off and was discontinued
If you want to drop your auto insurance rate, then don't.
quickly. It's remembered today more as a curiosity than a beverage breakthrough. Sony wanted to replace cassette tapes and CDs with something smaller, sleeker, and more modern: the mini disc. The tech was solid.
It's basically a Sony format that died out.
You could record and re-record without losing quality. But there were two big problems. First, the mini discs themselves were expensive. And second, CDs were already becoming cheaper and more popular.
Yeah, but the CD players skipped like shit. If you remember, you were there, you know.
Most
if you
people
know,
just
you
didn't see
know.
the need to switch.
Even with the
MP3
anti-shock, it
players
still
also
skipped
began
like a
rising in popularity by the late 90s, making mini discs feel outdated almost immediately. Sony did its best to push the format, especially in Japan, but it never caught on globally. It was quietly shelved, and now it lives on mostly in retro tech fan circles. Here's one that really missed the mark. In an effort to create a healthier cigarette, tobacco giant R.J. Reynolds launched Premier, a smokeless cigarette that used a heated element to release nicotine rather than burning tobacco.
And because they know what a pleasure it
Vape
is to smoke
before
a mild,
vape.
good-tasting cigarette.
Sounds kind of like a vape, right? But this was the early 90s, and the technology just wasn't there. The cigarette had a horrible taste and a strange smell that users described as burning
I
plastic.
remember
That's
that.
an opportunity the dwindling number of American smokers might want to take.
Smokers hated it, and non-smokers weren't impressed either. It was such a disaster that it cost the company over $1 billion in development and marketing, and was pulled from the shelves within a year. Before Cortana or Clippy, there was Bob. Microsoft Bob was a friendly, cartoon-style software interface meant to make computers easier for beginners. Instead of folders and icons.
Okay, so the idea of Bob was to
I don't remember
put
Microsoft
a
Bob.
interface on top.
Users
DOS
navigated a cartoon house with a dog
for many,
named
many
Grover,
years.
who guided them around. It
You
was
know,
supposed to be
know.
intuitive and helpful, but it turned out to be overly simplistic and pretty annoying. Most users found it clunky and condescending, and it
I
required
kinda
more
remember
processing
it.
power than many home computers had at the
That
time.
one picture,
Compatible all the way up to
few,
XP.
few
So
back,
welcome to
had some
Microsoft
memories
Bob.
to it.
Even Bill Gates admitted it was a flop. Microsoft Bob became one of the most mocked pieces of software ever made. Okay, technically, this one launched at the very end of the 80s, but it flopped hard in the early 90s.
Is Pepsi AM.
I don't remember that one. I just seen something on that one the other day, too.
Pepsi AM was a soda specifically made for breakfast. Yes, you read that right, a morning cola. It had more caffeine than regular Pepsi and was marketed as a coffee alternative for people who don't do mornings. Sounds odd? That's because it was.
Pepsi AM stat. Oh, and there's also diet, but we're not going to bring that back.
People weren't ready to swap their morning coffee for a sugary soda. It felt off-brand and out of place. The product was pulled almost as quickly as it launched. Still, it stands as one of Pepsi's weirdest experiments.
Unfortunately, there is no information on how much caffeine is in these, but it is a sealed can.
In 1992, Coca-Cola quietly resurrected its infamous 1985 misstep as Coke 2, hoping to win back consumers still scarred by the original New Coke fiasco. Retaining that overly sweet formula, the beverage failed to deliver the crisp, familiar taste fans craved.
And I'm standing here with this ice-cold, thirst-quenching, deliciously satisfying Coca-Cola.
And critics weren't shy about pointing it out. Despite a low-key marketing push, supermarket shelves remained
I never was a Coke
well-stocked as
fan.
shoppers recoiled and reclaimed
That's one of the
their
beverages.
classic Coke.
If
Within
they
months,
have it,
Coke 2
I'll
was
order
quietly
it.
phased out. Another
9
reminder
times out of
that
10, give me a
nostalgia
Sprite though instead of Coke.
It's a great new taste. I can't believe they could improve Coke.
and a time-tested recipe can be a company's greatest asset. But Coca-Cola wasn't the only household name to stumble. Next up, a fast food giant's attempt to go gourmet would leave both adults and kids wondering what went wrong.
Coca-Cola officials say it's a humbling experience, but they have to admit they underestimated.
McDonald's Arch Deluxe launched in 1996 amid the Golden Arches advertising blitz. Featuring a fancy potato crispy bun, peppered bacon mayo, and leaf lettuce, it aimed to lure affluent 18 to 34-year-olds, yet it confused core fans and health-conscious diners alike.
Okay, just one at a time. Yeah, I know Ronald, okay?
The campaign spent over
He knows
$100 million
Ronald
on ads,
McDonald.
but restaurant traffic barely budged.
I wonder if he knows
balked at paying
Grimace
double
too.
for what felt like a middling upgrade, and kids stuck with Happy Meals.
Hey! Wait! Something's wrong!
By 2000, McDonald's quietly retired the Arch Deluxe, chalking it up to market overreach. Next, a
I
storied
worked at a
motorcycle
McDonald's,
maker
and
tried to
I
bottle
don't think
its
I've
rugged
ever made
ethos,
one of those
only
things.
to produce a scent that left even die-hard fans
That was my
scratching their heads.
I knew you'd love it.
third
That crisp chicken
job in
fillet.
high school.
It's right up your alley.
McDonald's
In 1995,
classic.
Harley-Davidson ventured beyond the open road, releasing a perfume meant to capture its trademark leather and chrome essence. Packaged in sleek, metallic bottles, the fragrance boasted smoky tobacco and sandalwood notes, aiming to turn bikers and admirers.
I bet you that'll go good now. There's a lot more
into loyal
Harley
wearers.
riders
Yet
now.
the scent fell flat. Fans grumbled
than
it
there was
smelled more
back
like
then.
an overspiced cologne.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
I just ate.
It escape, while fragrance aficionados dismissed it as a gimmick. Retailers soon relegated it to clearance racks, where it languished until discontinuation.
I think my
The
midlife
disconnect
crisis,
between
that's what I'm
roaring
gonna
engines
do,
and
learn how to
delicate
ride a
spritzes proved
motorcycle.
Too stark. But this wasn't the only 90s novelty that misfired. Next, an at-home beauty hack would promise miracles yet deliver nothing but
You
colorful
gotta plan for your
regret.
midlife crisis, I believe, nowadays.
It's been a little old school. It's got a White Brothers lowering kit.
As thinning hair became a source of dread, the mid-90s brought spray-on hair, an aerosol
I
can of
remember
powdery
it.
fibers designed to cling to sparse follicles,
And ladies with thinning hair or bald spots, GL8 solves the problem instantly.
promising instant fullness. Infomercials showcased seamless results under bright lights, yet real-world use revealed chalky streaks and uneven patches, more disguise than transformation. Users reported stained shower curtains and pillowcases, while onlookers struggled to understand if the hair was natural or artificial.
Applying GLH to yourself is so easy. Just spray on, then brush after using the finishing shield, and you're done.
The gimmick's visual appeal evaporated outside studio cameras, and safety concerns over inhaled particles didn't help its case. By decade's end, spray-on hair was mocked on late-night TV and relegated to novelty bins. Up next, a snack giant's fat-free
I remember
dream
a
would wind
couple
up,
like
well,
Saturday Night
having
Live
you dash
skits
straight to the bathroom.
with the spray on.
Told me I'd never grow
It was either Saturday Night Live or
Look at me now.
In
Riding
Living
the
Color.
90s diet craze, Frito-Lay unveiled Wow Chips in 1998,
So what do you think of it overall?
I love it.
Would you buy some?
Oh, yes.
swapping fat for olestra, a molecule too large to digest. The chips tasted nearly identical to Lay's classics and raked in $347 million during their first year.
Oh, man.
But behind the scenes, olestra slipped through the digestive tract like an
Hold up.
unwelcome laxative, leading to urgent, often public exits. As
So, I got a story about Olestra. I had a buddy. Well, strike that, reverse it. When Pringles came out with their chip with the Olestra, they actually, in my neighborhood, gave out full cans of Pringles in the newspaper. So my one homie Ben went around and stole Pringle cans, right? He ate the hell out of these Pringles. You heard him say it was like a laxative, right? Between that and I think it's like the sugar-free Reese's or Hershey's. Those are both laxative, believe it or not, if you eat too much.
As the bathroom tales spread, sales plunged to $200 million by 2000.
Everything from mesquite barbecue to nacho cheesier.
And regulatory warnings forced labels to flaunt the side effect disclaimer. By 2004, Yao chips vanished or were rebranded as light snacks, a cautionary tale of how a breakthrough can backfire spectacularly. Soon after, coffee lovers faced an even stranger convenience flop: brewed, boxed, and baffling.
So I probably won't buy them because of that.
But as far as the taste, what do you
They
think?
taste just like regular.
In 1999, Maxwell House rolled out a prepackaged chilled brew sold alongside milk in grocery fridges. Yet,
I don't
instead of
remember
sipping
that.
chilled Java, consumers were instructed, via a steaming mug icon,
For these, so they do have them, so might as well check out your local store.
to microwave the drink back to hot. The convoluted concept begged the question, why not brew fresh? Shoppers opted for instant packets or traditional pots, leaving cartons of lukewarm coffee to expire.
ADC automatic drip coffee. ADC's made just for the new coffee maker.
Making it a
Retailers
lukewarm
cleared shelves at
mess.
steep discounts, and Maxwell quietly pulled the product within a year. The misstep highlighted that convenience must actually simplify, not complicate, everyday routines. Meanwhile, telecom users were still juggling phones on curly cords, until one accessory proposed a Velcro solution that everyone would soon wish had stayed in the box.
Good. So good, I'll be selling a lot.
Before Bluetooth reigned supreme, the 1990s phone relief headset promised hands-free calls via an ingenious but flawed Velcro system.
We have got to the point where literally anybody.
Hello. I can get that right now. Hold on while I put my ear thing. I'm typing it. I need 2 hands to type.
Slip the headband over your crown, stick a Velcro patch to your handset, and voila, suspended dialing bliss. In theory, it freed both hands for typing or note-taking. In practice, phones wobbled, headbands slipped, and calls ended with unexpected gravity tests.
Hey, man,
Those are one of those
hung up
late
with you.
night infomercials you see when you could not sleep.
Thanks. Bye.
I remember that
Customers lamented
very,
the
very
lack
well.
of
We never
built-in
had one or
speakers or
nothing, but I
microphones,
laughed because I remember the
negating true
intro
hands-free functionality. With wires and
infomercials.
Velcro tearing under daily use, the gadget vanished almost as quickly as it arrived. Soon after, kids would discover a crafty art tool that turned playtime into a parent's worst nightmare.
Hello. I can get that right now. Hold on while I put my ear thing. I'm typing as we speak. I need 2 hands to type.
Aimed at budding Picassos, BLO pens let children blow ink through an airbrush-style wand onto stencils.
Blow pens.
Advertisements promised vibrant murals with minimal mess, yet reality painted a different picture. Ink sputtered unpredictably, creating blotches instead of crisp designs, and fine mist clouds spread across tables and walls.
Now I'm going to obviously do the ties black, but you can do it any colour you like, as I said before.
Parents found themselves scrubbing furniture while kids struggled to achieve even strokes. Concerns mounted over inhaled pigments, and the product's novelty fizzled amidst mounting cleanup grievances.
3, 4, 5, 6 stencils. Oops, they're all coming out now. So we are going to do some...
Retailers soon dropped BLO pens from shelves, leaving frustrated young artists to reach for safer markers. Next in line was a toy so incessantly vocal that it became both a parent's nightmare and a children's must-have.
the paint bleeding, but I think that's a really good job.
Yeah.
What do you think so?
When Furby debuted in 1998,
Furby!
its chirps, chatters, and eerily expressive eyes made it the season's hottest toy, selling over 40
I
million
never had one,
units
but
in 3
this was
years.
my era.
Like so.
All the girls in my middle school and high school fucking
But delight
crave those
quickly
fucking
turned to
things.
exhaustion as Furby refused to stay silent. Lacking an off switch, it awoke at random, serenading households in the dead of night. Parents discovered the only quieting method was battery removal, prompting frantic scavenges for screwdrivers. Though beloved by children, the constant babble and nocturnal awakenings earned Furbies a spot on many parents' worst toys lists. Hasbro wouldn't repeat the mistake when it revived Furby in 2023, this time, thankfully, with a proper power button. Yet, even that lesson couldn't save a clear craze that fizzled soon after its debut. Coors introduced Zima in 1993
We used
as a
to
clear
take
malt beverage, stripping color and much
Jolly
of the beer's bite
Ranchers
before adding
and throw them in the Zima and let them dissolve. This was before seltzer water, before, you know what I mean?
Tapped the 90s fascination with crystal clear sodas, and initial consumer trial was off the charts. 7 in 10
It really
Americans
wasn't that
gave
bad.
it a
I heard
swig.
they still sell it to this day.
Yet, the novelty wore thin as drinkers described it as beer's bland cousin with a citrus twist. Sales plummeted within a few years, and Zima was discontinued in the US by 2008. Despite its flop, many credit Zima for paving the way to today's booming hard seltzer market, proof that even a failure can leave a lasting legacy.
Zima. When this was all the rage in the 90s, I was not old enough to partake.
At first
Yeah, I wasn't old
blush,
enough to buy
Beanie
them, but
Babies
we would
looked like
drink them.
harmless plush companions. Tiny,
I was more of a
collectible,
Heineken person,
and adorably
or a
stitched.
St. Ives
But
person when I was
behind the cuddly
younger
facade
anyway.
lurked a masterclass in artificial scarcity.
And they all claim to know that theirs, whether it be PVC or PE, was the first.
Ty Warner, the brand's eccentric creator, would abruptly retire designs on a whim, turning humble hippos and bears into overnight legends.
Oh,
and you see they
man.
use the small font here. And the tag
Those
you'll see
were
is slightly smaller. It
craze.
has a little bit of a different shape to it.
Collectors scrambled, prices soared on the secondary market, and unprepared speculators found themselves holding ocean-going
They had a
whales
Beanie
no one
Baby
wanted.
for
By
everything
1999,
and every
Warner pulled the plug on the entire line.
event you can
No
think
warning,
of. It
no
was
fanfare,
nuts.
leaving armies of wrappers and trading cards with plummeting worth. Tax evasion charges in 2013 briefly thrust him back into headlines, but the Beanie Bubble never quite rebounded. And yet, lurking in the toy chest is another 90s icon whose downfall is even more astonishing.
So I brought in some of the Beanie Babies that I thought were the most rare in my collection, and this company knew.
Once upon a time, the internet was a formal affair, and who better to guide you than a besuited gentleman named Jeeves? Launched in
Yeah, I remember
1996,
Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves promised to answer your queries in plain English, sparing you the tyranny of keywords.
Hope that helps you understand Ask Jeeves. I'm Bridge Stewart, and this is Every Single Thing Explained.
Its digital butler mascot strode alongside users through early web labyrinths, even floating over Manhattan in Thanksgiving Day parade balloons. But as algorithms advanced, Jeeves's literal interpretations
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space?
and clunky processing left it gasping.
Ask Jeeves. The question-answering search engine began trading today on the NASDAQ just a short while ago.
Google's sleek simplicity and superior relevancy rendered natural language searches passé. By the mid-2000s, Jeeves was jettisoned. The site rebranded Ask.com, and the valet vanished into internet lore. Proof that even polite manners can't save you from ruthless competition.
Improve their ability to
Hey,
interact
Siri.
with their customers on their websites.
Can I
We're
call
paid
you
by companies
Jeeves?
to develop a service.
In 1995, Kodak unleashed the DC-40, a groundbreaking digital camera promising instant snapshots
She
without
said,
film.
I can
At a
help
hefty
with that if you
$1,000
turn
price tag,
on
it sported 1.3
your
megapixels,
location
a
for
novelty
Siri.
at the time.
Get the fuck out of
Yet,
here.
the world wasn't ready.
I've taken it apart, cleaned up all of the residue that was left in the lens, and I think we're pretty much good to go.
Slow data transfer, grainy images, and tiny LCD previews disappointed photographers accustomed to the crisp reliability of 35mm.
Compact flash cards aren't that hard to get in, but I tried putting in a 32 megabyte compact flash card and that didn't work.
Kodak's roots in silver halide made digital feel like an afterthought. The firm underestimated online photo sharing's explosive growth, and enthusiasts balked at cumbersome proprietary formats. By 1999, rival manufacturers offered faster, higher-resolution models at lower prices. Though pioneering, the DC-40 sank under its own pioneering weight,
Back in the day, it was
foreshadowing
called a
Kodak's eventual
Kodak
2012
moment.
bankruptcy and highlighting the perils of hesitating on disruptive innovation.
Okay, I've managed to work out how to use the playback feature, and as you can see, it does work.
Imagine donning a latex rubber mask that zapped your face with mild electric currents. Released in 1999, it claimed to tone muscles and smooth wrinkles by sending gentle pulses across your skin. In practice, users reported twitching,
they got
tingling, and
Botox.
outright discomfort. Dermatologists warned of uneven muscle contraction and potential burns, while cosmetologists balked at its unproven efficacy.
You got 2 more to go. Oh, God.
The accompanying therapy sessions resembled a sci-fi torture device more than a spa treatment. Despite glossy infomercials and celebrity endorsements, consumer enthusiasm fizzled. Few wanted to shock their way to beauty. Sales evaporated as safer, non-invasive alternatives emerged.
They look like
consigning
crash
the
test
Rejuvenate to late-night
dummies.
bargain bins and internet auctions where kitschy gadgets go to die.
I didn't sign up for electrical tooth massage. That's just not what I signed up for here.
At the turn of the millennium, QCat promised to revolutionize how we accessed websites. Simply scan a barcode printed in magazines or on products, and voila, you'd be whisked to a URL.
Create virtual shopping carts so you can take advantage of the online automatic delivery grocery.
The handheld, cat-shaped reader even glowed green when active. Cute, right?
That's crazy.
Unfortunately, the vision ignored
It's
real-world
that long
habits.
ago,
Shoppers
and
didn't
they got
carry
stuff like
barcode
that
guns on coffee breaks, and publishers balked at embedding
available
slugs that
regularly.
cluttered layouts. Installation woes, privacy concerns after user data leaks, and the rise of smartphones with built-in browsers sealed its fate.
However, by the year 2000, search engines were more effective, they were quicker, they were better.
Within 2 years, the company folded, and millions of glorified scanners, found themselves obsolete curiosities. QCat reminds us that the flashiest gimmick can still miss the mark if it doesn't fit into daily life.
Do you want your videos to look like this? Well,
oh man. You guys seen it? Some of us lived it. And some of those inventions still live on, believe it or not, through our phones. It's crazy to see the things come alive. Like the original Apple thing, that was wild. I remember those days. I don't remember that invention. The last scanner thing, I remember I used to scan things on my phone, not my phone, my work phone, for inventory purposes for when I went out and delivered. That was in the early 2000s. I had to have like an attachment to my phone. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to see things evolve the way they have. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. The last one with the scanners, that's how I price check at Walmart. I go to the Walmart app and I scan the Well, you guys seen it for your eyes. Some of us lived it. If you know, you know. This is Thomas with Lukewarm Mess. God bless. Love y'all.